Hello everyone and welcome back to PSGL for the round 7 of the PCF3 Championship. Last time you here with us we was at Britain where Flores took the win. We had about 4 different strats that race, so it was really good, really entertaining. So hopefully at Portimao today we can see something quite similar. Portimao is a difficult track. I've spoken to quite a few drivers actually from different teams, and they've all said they just don't like the track, they can't get used to it. Especially the uphill turn 12, that's caused a lot of issues, and the incline up towards, I think it's turn 4, out of turn 3 and up. That's where the drivers have also been having issues, which will cause possibly some incidents, crashes, spins, and hopefully not much more, but we'll have to see. In terms of racing, it can be quite good. I think it kind of depends on the day. You have tracks like Austria and Britain which always carry a good race. Portimao will either bring an amazing race or a really boring race, so we're just going to hope luck's on our side today, and we'll have to see, will it be raining or will it be dry, because Portimao isn't normally wet, but we never know. F1 might throw a curveball at us every now and then, but it'll be interesting to say the least.
Unfortunately, we haven't got any highlights today, so we're going to go straight to the standings for the drivers and the constructors. And you can see Flores extending his championship lead now to 11 points. Unfortunately, Jonas Martins had a race ban after his intentional 360s in Monaco, and then Lefted moves himself up to third, just 1 point behind Jonah. So Jonas not racing today, from what I believe, which means Lefted and Cameron and I think Jake Finch all have a chance at getting themselves onto that top 2 spot. Cameron Dowd still extending his, it's now 17 race finishes where he's been in the points without any DNFs or any DNF do not start. And a fun fact, Jeremy, Cameron and Bogdan Moldovan are the only drivers to start every race and actually finish every race, which I suppose is good in terms of consistency and availability. But yeah, it'll be interesting to see what happens in terms of the standings, because if Flores has a bad race today, then he can be dropped down again because Lefted and Cameron are right there. But if it's a good race, he'll extend his championship maybe to 15, 16, maybe even higher out of points. So it'll be interesting what Flores has got up his sleeve today. I was having a chat with him earlier this week, and he said he's having lots of struggles getting grips to the track, and he can't find much traction, which is a big issue around Portimao. And now we look at the constructors standing. You can see McLaren are dead level with Aston Martin, both on 65 points each. And then 5 points behind them are Red Bull, Flores and Zoltan. So it's quite close at the top. The thing is with Aston Martin, you can see they either have a really bad weekend or a really good weekend. You can see they scored 24 points in Monaco, 18 in Britain. But then in the first 2 rounds, they scored nothing. So, you know, they're able to pull off a really good weekend or a bad one, like I've said. And then McLaren have been pretty stable, I think, throughout, apart from their really poor performance in Monaco. And then Red Bull also had a really poor performance at Monaco and Zandvoort. So that's what's then put them on the back foot. And you can see then there's a little battle between 4th and 5th between Ferrari and AlphaTauri. Marcus Toulay has replaced Jake Finch now in the Ferrari full-time. And they're just, 7 points apart. And then we look at the bottom of the table, Alpine. Jack Humphries and Yernay still on 0 points, which is really not good for them at all. They'll definitely want to be improving and getting some points later on tonight. And then we have a final look at the calendar, and you can see we're here now at Portimao, the 5th of January. Then next week we're off to Belgium at Spa. Then we're off to Australia, Albert Park, Melbourne. Then round 10 we're off to United States, not for Miami but for Austin this time. And then the final race we're going to end it off with Abu Dhabi. We was meant to be racing at Abu Dhabi last season, but due to some glitches with I think it was the track limits or something, we didn't actually get to race there, unfortunately. But this time it's back. Abu Dhabi is the final race of the season. We might see our championship crowned before then, but let's hope it's in Abu Dhabi. It always feels different when it's the final race. And let me know in the comments, what race are you most excited for? If you're going to ask me, I'm most excited probably for either Spa or Kota, because Kota does deliver some great racing. We've seen in real F1 in these past couple of years and in league racing. Hello? Can everyone see us? No, because it hasn't. 1 second, everyone. Sorry about that. We're here.
We're in the walls.
Yeah, I've had a couple of issues yet again with the stream, and our cameras are a little bit behind. So sorry for that. But welcome back to PSGL F3. If you didn't see the intro, we're here for Portugal round 7 of the F3 Championship, and we've got 18 drivers here today. There's just a couple missing. I'll have a look in a second and let you know who. But yeah, it should be an exciting one. Josh, what are you thinking for today? Do you think it's going to be exciting?
I hope it's going to be exciting. I mean, the F2 race is just finishing up now as well. That has been very dramatic with the wet weather in the main race as well. So if we've got the same sort of similar situation cropping up here, that's going to make it interesting. Qualifying is going to always be important. It's a roller coaster style track. We only really raced here back in season 30. That's when I made my debut here on PSGL. I know you came in a little bit later. But the race we saw there was absolutely fantastic. Rain affected qualifying, which means we only, of the 80 minutes we had, we only really did about 6 or 7 minutes of action. The race itself was constant drama, overtake after overtake, battle after battle. It's a favorite track for Formula One. They love it. We haven't seen any of the new cars race on this track yet, though. That's the thing, because we've had F1 2020 and 2021. They raced here as well. In the old generation of cars, they wasn't on the 22 calendar. There is, however, a rumor that this track, the Portimao circuit, could be replacing China, but now China has got conversations back in as well to bring them in for April 14th to 16th. So it's currently either Algarve or Shanghai. So either way, it's a good circuit.
See, with it being F1, I wouldn't be surprised if they go, you know what, we'll throw both in. I wouldn't be surprised at all.
25 races. I mean,
make it a quarter of a century.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't think my voice will enjoy it though much as well. But first commentary of the year. It's end of this season, round 7, 5 races to the end of the season. We've got realistically 3 championship contenders, but really it's between Jona Martins, who didn't race at Silverstone last time out because of a ban after Monaco, and then we've got Floris Wise, who won at Silverstone, taking an important run. And this is the track they do battle on, as we said, 2.891 miles as well, 15 turns, 2 DRS zones as well, closing around the speed trap. And look out for overtaking zones, mainly down at turn 5, at the Flora Sols section of this track as well. They're very tight hairpin. Turn 1, 2, and 3, 3 constant right-handers. Turn 3 is called Lagos, up the hill to turn 4. Turn 5 goes past the hotel. Turn 8 and 9, that's sort of the real roller coaster bumpy section of the track as well, where they bring it back in. It's absolutely fantastic, Richard. We can't wait to see what qualifying is going to bring shortly.
And looking at 20, I think it was 2020, the Portugal Grand Prix. I think it was lap 1 down towards turn 5 at the hairpin. I think there's about in the race about 8 or 9 drivers that locked up going into that corner. Somehow none collided. We had battles. I think it was Perez around the outside of, I think it was Carlos Sainz at turn 1. We also had Lance Stroll have a battle with someone. He ended up crashing. Unfortunately, not a surprise for Lance Stroll. But less about the real F1. Let's get into the action. If we have a look at the screen now when it loads on. And it's not loaded, has it? Oh, no, we're here. We're on.
Qualifying. There we go. And the green light is on. And for the first time in 2023, qualifying is underway here at the Algarve International Circuit as well. Cars heading out there, overcast conditions as well as they head down towards turn 1, but it looks dry out there. They're all on the soft compound tyre, and this tells me, Richie, however, that the rain might be on its way, because the intensity that they're going out there as well quickly within an 18-minute session, we might be on for a situation we saw in season 30 where the rain just comes down in about 5 minutes.
Yeah, I think that was it Austria? If I'm correct.
That too, yeah.
Because it started dry and it went to wet, and it rained within about 2 minutes. But I'm going to say my usual saying. Let me know if the audio is fine. But there was a twist. We've actually got the audio working. After doing about 7 troubleshoots and 5 YouTube tutorials on sound, so now I'm an expert on computers when it comes to Windows 10 with sound, we're fine. So that's lucky. So if anyone's only got queries about sound, let me know, because I spent about past 10 hours in the past 2 weeks figuring it out. So I'm an expert.
Yeah, absolutely fantastic as well with what he's been up to.
Time to get all the screens on. I've still got the issue though, however, with the spectator menu and the buttons. But we're going to go on board with Lefted, who's been looking very fast as of recent, looking one of the quickest drivers to be here today. I think it was in time trial he got a 16 flat, which obviously time trial is different to qualifying in an online session. But you know, if he's able to replicate some of what he can do, this could be very interesting. Josh, if you want to talk through the lap.
Yeah. It's turn 1, 2 and 3 then. Constant speeds through the first 2 corners in 6th gear. Back down to 3rd for turn 3. Then he rides uphill as well. Rising to about 5th gear at the top of the crest. Don't go too wide off the circuit though. Activate your DRS, head downhill. Past the hotel and visitor section. Lay on the brakes literally around about 60 meters before you enter the apex. Another tight ride. Back on the accelerator. Rising up the hill. Turn 7.
Mic off.
Flick as well to the left. Then 2 rights
Mic
as well.
on.
Turn 8 into the heavy braking zone for turn 9 as well. Drop down 3rd gear. Rise up over the crest. It feels like you're on top of a roller coaster with a sudden drop down. It's more exciting on a MotoGP bike. Up as well through Craig Jones and then bang in towards turn 11 and 12 into Portimao. Very tight at the top of the hill. Just drop down casually as well as you rise back up in towards turn 13. Heavy on the brakes again, down to around about 3rd gear. On board with left there, he's in 4th, so he wants to counter the acceleration at the exit. Dropping down here well into the last 2 corners as well at Gout. Back on the power as well. Casually press the accelerator because you're going to throw the car. This drop doesn't look like much. Believe me, it's the equivalent of a 6-story drop at the last corner. Power to the line, open up the DRS just before the control line. 1:16.836 puts him 2nd, but it's Jeremy's on top with a 1:16.781 at the moment.
Yep, we're going to go down to Floris Wise. He's currently coming around turn 15. Let's see. Is Floris able to get himself onto that top position? Leonard goes 2nd. Floris goes 1st. With a 16.6 puts him just about a 10th ahead of now. Jan Halliday was Jeremy, who's now put down to 3rd. Modesto may not making a return. I feel like I haven't seen him for years. But here he is on screen. Now coming round turn 14 into 15 shortly. Let's see. Where is Modesto able to put his Altair? Oh, big slide going into turn 15. Then he turned a lot. And let's see, where does he put it? And he goes 17th. Last of the
runners. Yeah, 1:17.671. Not a great time. Bogdan Moldovan back in. Marcus Tower, by the way, has been having a couple of issues with connectivity issues. In fact, just 4 minutes ago, he put on the Discord, it's bleeding crashed again as well. So it's not very happy at the moment as he's having problems. But this is a good time. 1:16.649 from Flores, the championship leader. Look to where actually at the moment. And I actually can't see anything as well. So it looks like Jan Halliday back in control of the McLaren as well. Jonas Martin's not back this weekend because I can't see him on the control board there.
He's not. I'm sure he said he was away from home. He had a few friends visiting, so, you know, understandable to him. But if you look at our top 10, it's a bit through around compared to normal. We've got Jack, Sergio, Tom Lefted, Cameron, Vincent, Leonard, Jeremy, Jan and Floris. It's nice to see Vincent back in that top 5. He hasn't been on his form as of recent. Tom and Sergio and Jack in the top 10. That's nice. And obviously Floris at a surprise, non-surprising pole. As I said earlier when I was talking about the stands, I did have a chat with Floris earlier this week. I think it was yesterday, if I remember correctly. And he did say, you know, he was really struggling with the track. Today he informed me, he said it's a little bit better. But I was watching his screen and you could see the traction levels for nearly anyone. It's just so low. You can't get the grip, especially coming up that turn, up to turn 4, the uphill, and into turn 1 you have struggles, and the worst corner of all, turn 8. That's such a horrible corner, Samsung corner, as it is.
Yeah.
And it's such a weird corner because it looks like, oh, that should be easy for the car just to go up, glide, and then go down. But it's such like a roller coaster. The car's like, hang on, we're going up, we're going down, we're going up. What's going on here? And the car just loses grip. You know, it's weird, but to cut away completely off topic, the question is it going to rain? Because Bogdan's gone out, which makes you think it's not. But normally people leave it a little bit of time before going out, but everyone went out nearly instantly. And we've also got Jeremy and Harlem out, so I don't know if it will. Possibly it will rain, it might not. But I don't know if everyone's going out early, get a couple of laps in, then just go back into the pits. Bogdan's left it late, which makes me think, actually, is it raining? Bogdan's gone quickest in that first sector, 22 flat, and he's gone a little bit wide on the exit of turn 5, but he keeps it nice and straight. He's now charging there towards turn 7 and 8. In towards turn 7, nice into gear 6 and puts it down to 4th into turn 8, and short shifts up to 5th, gets nice and early on the power. Now charging down towards turn 9 and 10. You've got to get your braking point perfect here, otherwise you're going to go a little bit too wide and could possibly lose the car on the exit. You can see Very nice on the braking, very smooth. And he has a bit of a twitch on the exit because he touches the curb. Now he's in towards turn 12 or 13. And let's see now. He's currently looking, I'd probably say one of the quickest on track at the moment. And he's got nice traction on mostly exit the corner tree, which is quite good. He's now coming round turn 15, the final corner of the track. Let's see. What does Bogdan manage to achieve in this qualifying session? And he goes 14, 17-1.
Brilliant.
Harlem.
Okay, so time to improve.
Yeah.
And then Harlem's just below him as well. Where's he on the line?
15th. He's currently coming through turn 4 now as we speak, and he's now charging towards turn 5 with the DRS Open.
Down to the brakes then. 8th gear. Nope, stays in 7th. Rising that red limiter as well. Sets a good time in the first sector. Medium compound though for Jan Halliday, who's in P2 on a 1:16.775. That's a bold call. Maybe the softs aren't biting with these conditions. Maybe the mediums will. There's a little bit of a slide from Harlem coming out of turn number 9 at Samson. Dropping down through the roller coaster section as well. Uphill towards Portimao, the 2 corners at 10-11. He's gone very wide there. Got caught on the AstroTurf and he just dragged him off from the curb. Lap time gone for Harlem, and that is a big disappointment if the rain is coming. He's even dropped down to neutral and he's just coasting down the hill.
Yeah, we're on board with Zoltan Bowden. Now we've got a spin from, I think it's Leroy Brown or Jan Halliday down at the exit turn. I think exit turn 8. But yeah, we're on board with Zoltan, currently 18th. His teammate's in first, so we want to. Well, actually, is exactly a second behind Flores. Flores is 16.649. Zoltan is 17.649. So he wants to get within at least, I'd say, a good 10th, maybe 2 tenths. Zoltan, if people didn't know, actually, I didn't know, was the owner, I believe, of FES. That has unfortunately shut down. He's now part of ETA, if that's 100% correct. Correct me if I'm wrong. But yeah, now Zoltan coming in towards turn 10. Lefted. Quickest. 16.5.
Yeah, 16.5, and that was on the medium compound tire, sorry, the soft compound tire, so there is definitely still pace on that. So as Jan Halliday made the wrong error, he's got back in the pit lane, actually, and I don't think he's changing. Flores flies to second. Cameron Downs goes top, 1:16.517, and again, Zoltan Bowden sliding massively through the track. He can't seem to get in the grip as he accelerates towards the line. He was 2 tenths up, though, in the first sector. Has he managed to keep any of that round the lap across it? No! It's a 1:17.127, only improves to 14th place.
Leroy Brown, we're on board with him. He's starting his lap now, but Jack Humphrey's up to 4th, which is really nice. We're going to go on board with Sergio, and he's actually invalidated. Tom Martinez now. He's just coming in towards turn 7 and 8, and you can see he goes a little bit wide, but he's able to carry the speed through up the hill. Let's see. I don't know, actually. I think
he's out. Yeah, he's lost it. Lost it with that little wide you said, yeah.
Oh, no, he's gone, yeah. Didn't think that
Martinez
was
out.
Invalidation.
So, who's going to be on a lap? Marcus Towns in 18th position. Vincent Nyquist, okay. Marcus out again.
Yeah, Vincent.
Oh, he's up 500ths from Vincent Nyquist in the Haas, which has now been renamed to the, what is it, MoneyGram or MoneyGram?
MoneyGram.
MoneyGram. Well, it's Haas, so it's probably Money Grab, to be fair, for them as well. But yeah, MoneyGram, Haas F1 team for 2023. Down through the Portimao section. It's looking good lap time here for Vincent.
It is indeed, and he's now coming through turn 10. Oh, look at that. That's what I said earlier. It's so easy just to slide if you go a little bit wide on the exit, and he's actually got a purple middle sector, speaking of that. So let's see. Will that tarnish his lap time? He's currently on a 16.7, only needs 2.5 tenths. Nearly 3 tenths to get up towards Cameron Dowd, and he spun.
Oh, just put too much power at the rear. He's resets track as well. That's a naughty. And just look the rears and round you go. That's the one thing you have at this track as well, because it undulates too much, as you were saying, Richie. You just catch the oversteer and it throws you around. Well, this is turning into a very dramatic qualifying.
It is.
No sign of the rain, which is great.
But still, Cameron Dowd's on pole. Where was he in Britain? On pole. Is Cameron going to look to take 2 poles in a row? Sergio Sobrino, however, goes quickest in that middle sector. Currently nearly 2 tenths up on his time. That will put him around possibly 4th. I'm going to bank on 4th just ahead of Jack Humphries. But let's see what Sergio Sobrino can do. Just coming around turn 15 now to the final, to the line. Let's see what he can do. Will he get himself into that top 4, which I predict?
Takes it too close towards the pit wall.
Gets 3rd.
Brilliant lap time from that Mercedes. And Sergio Sobrino certainly putting himself on the map in 2023.
Yep, I've tabbed out. Sorry.
No worries. Absolutely fantastic at the moment in qualifying. Cameron Downs is on top on a 1:16.517. Lefted is second, Sergio Sabrino third, Forrest Wise is fourth. So once again, he's got an opportunity, has Forrest, to gain a championship advantage, and it's just not going his way at the moment. He is not performing well in qualifying, but now he's starting a flying lap down towards turn number 1. But we're watching Jan Halliday.
Yeah, we are. Ooh, you can see he had to do a bit of correction there. Another big correction in that, the end of turn 10. He's currently on 1.5 tenths up. So this could be interesting. This could put Jan possibly second, maybe even first if he can improve in this final sector. But that big correction then towards turn 10, that could definitely cost him a little bit of time. But we'll have to watch now as he comes up towards the line, round along right-hander of turn 15, up towards the line, and he puts on a P3. Very nice.
Jan Halliday, winner in Montreal, once again providing the entertainment here in Portimao. Now, Forrest Wise, by the way, he was down by 500 in the second sector. He's rising it quick in sectors 2 and 3 as well. Can he get back on the accelerator and find the time and find the pace he needs? Yeah, okay, brilliant. It's turn 13. A little bit slidey, though. It's this third sector, though, Richie. The car's having so much trouble adjusting from high altitude to a sudden low altitude.
They are, and that's a big issue with F1 cars and cars in general. So this is where they're going to struggle. But then again, some people might have setups that are adjusted to help that sector 3.
Flies goes quickest. 1:16.462.
If you look, he didn't actually improve in that third sector at all, and he still managed to improve by over a tenth. So Cameron's got about half a tenth of work to do, which is possible, but it's going to mean he's going to have to push hard. Lefted, however, is 4,000 up in that first sector. Watching him now as he comes round turn 10. He's down by a tenth, so we're going to move over to Jan Halliday. And he's invalidated, so we'll move down further afield to Jeremy. 1.5 tenths up in that second sector. He's now coming round turn 14 into 15. Let's see. Is he able to put himself in that top 5? Jeremy's been doing pretty well recently in forms of qualifying. Finished second in Monaco. I think he was finished third or fourth in Britain, if I remember correctly, and he puts himself 5th into that top 5. Vincent Nyquist also on a lap. He had a good big luck in the first few rounds of the season, but unfortunately coming into round 4, 5, and 6, he had lots of bad unluckiness. So he's not really scored many points. I think he's on around 28, 29. But luckily today we could see him possibly get himself back into that. Well, I wouldn't say championship fight, but the midfield fight. He's currently P11, just below Leroy Brown, who's also on a lap. Leroy was racing the PSGL versus WR event that was hosted yesterday. But he was at wet Singapore and dry Bahrain, so that's not going to help him, really. And Vincent goes 9th.
I'm just quickly, sorry, Richie, I'm just going to say apologies if it's lagging occasionally. That's not Richie or me. I'm experiencing the same like Richie is. It's the actual lobby just having a couple of glitches as well. So if you do see a couple of frames dropping, that's nothing to do with us. That is the lobby glitching itself. Hopefully as well, it'll be fixed for the race. Usually these times, sometimes we see it happening in qualifying and it's perfectly fine for the race. So sadly, we can't do much with it.
I didn't see that one, but Tom Martinez, I missed that, went 5th. Ooh.
Wow, he's gone ahead of Jeremy.
I think they're doing a bit of a tactic here. Is that let's watch Jeremy. Is this a Williams tactic, or is it going to the pit lane? Because no, he's going to the pit lane. Oh. So it looks like it was going to be a bit of teamwork, but no. Jeremy's going to the pit lane. Vincent's also going to the pit lane. Leroy's might. Oh, I think Leroy's starting a lap. No, he's not. He's going to the pit lane. So we've got nothing going on apart from Daniel Yeltsin, who's currently on an out lap. 15th for Daniel. That's not where he should be.
No, look at the fantastic run he had in Montreal for Daniel, and was leading the race, had such a great advantage, but took a gamble when the rain came and it didn't work out for him. But this is not great for him down in 15th.
No.
And he's struggling on the outlap as well to keep it in the white lines.
Bit like the real life Mercedes, isn't it? The car struggling in terms of warming up the tyres. But yeah, we're going to go on board with Daniel now, Josh, if you'd like to do. Why don't you do a Mercedes lap attack?
Okay, Daniel then out of the last corner as well. Get up to full power as well. There you've passed the activation zone. Now coming across, you pass the activation line. And it's full power down towards turn number 1. 8th gear at over 327, 328, 330 kilometers an hour. Slam on the brakes at about 40 meters. Flick the car into the right twice. A little bit of understeer as well as he straightens up. Heavy braking zone down into 4th gear. Into Lagos, up the hill towards turn 4. and it's looking okay at the exit. Second DRS zone as well. 7th gear. Looks like we're going to hold it. No, decides to go in 8th. Braking zone at about 60 metres. Flick the car into the hip and at turn 5 as well. Back up the hill. We've got traffic ahead of him. He'll be noticing that as he exits the corner. We'll be counteracting for any wake that he's going to have in terms of aero efficiency loss. Up the hill now. Drop over the top like a roller coaster and feel your stomach drop. You feel it even on the F1 game as well. Uphill once again into turn 11 and 12 at Portimao. He's got 2 cars in his way. One of the AlphaTauris gets out of his way. The Red Bull though is going to stay on his path. It would have cost a couple of tenths there. Into turn 13, flick the car in again towards the left. Power downhill in towards the Gow corner. Into turn 14, the car's fighting him as it changes from high altitude to sudden low altitude. How's he going to do through the last corner? Back on the power with 7th gear. Holds in. He's hanging the inside line. He almost loses it as well. Amazing save. I don't think this is going to be a stunning lap time as he crosses the lap, and he only goes 12th. Too many mistakes here. The car's not balanced out rightly. It was causing a lot of problems.
Yeah, big shame from that. That would have probably been for possibly a 16-6, but he lost a lot of time with the Red Bull and with also the big snap on the exit, the final corner. And I don't know if Vincent or Leonard retired on track or in the pit lane, because I got rid of all the graphics, so it was just the car, so we could have a nice big view of the Mercedes.
Oh, nice.
But we're on board with Bogdan now, who's just coming up turn 8, Samsung corner. And let's see, is he able to get himself into that top 10? Because Tom and Jeremy aren't setting another lap. They are going to finish 5th and 6th. So now it's the final lap, so we're all getting ready. And we're going to watch Bogdan. Left is coming up towards the line.
Jack Humphries has taken provisional pole at 1:16.440. Brilliant time there. Now, Flores is somewhere on the track. Lefty goes into 3rd position. Flores looking good. Bogdan's there too. McKee has retired from the session. Bogdan's back on the power though, Richie.
Yep, he is. We're going to watch Bogdan cross the line. Cameron!
Brilliant! He's done it again, just at Silverstone. As Bogdan crosses the line, only goes 13th. Flores is the one to watch, coming out the last couple of corners. Cameron Downs, like at Silverstone, has provisional pole. The only one who can stop him is the championship leader. Across the line we go. Is it good enough? It is good enough. It's a 1:16.193. He is 2 tenths faster. Brilliant lap time from Flores. Brilliant.
On board with Harlem now. Harlem stays 15th. Philip Waters now. The only car left on track that is setting a lap. Let's see what Philip can do. He's going to improve up towards the line. Philip put the 16th and he improves to nowhere. Marcus Toulay, he's 18 seconds down. But what a lap from Floris Fires. Absolutely amazing. And Cameron and Jack. Like, you know, Cameron's qualifying performance has been even better. And I was speaking to one of Cameron's friends earlier. Liam, you've done a good job at engineering him, especially in qualifying, so good luck for the race. I was speaking to Liam earlier, he's outplayed racing. He said he was engineering Cameron today, and I said that if he didn't, then his career's over. And at the moment, it's actually gone well. But yeah, top 3, Dutch, Scottish and Australian.
What a lineup.
Or New Zealand, whatever. Jack, please don't beat me up if I get it wrong. But yeah, Flores takes pole for probably about the millionth time this season, followed by Cameron Dowds on the front row for the 2nd time in a row. Jack Humphries, his first time being in that top 3, probably his first time being in the top 10, I think, this season, followed by Jan Halliday, finishes 4th. Lefted in 5th, Tom Martinez having a really good qualifying session in 6th with his Williams teammate, Jeremy in 7th. Sergio in 8th, Leroy in 9th, Vincent in 10th, we've got Leonard in 11th, Daniel 12th, Bogdan 13th, 14th for McKee, 15th for Harlem, 16th for Philip, 17th Zoltan, Modesto and Marcus. Take out your whole grid. Marcus finishing 3rd actually in Britain. Now he's starting 19th. So if he's going to do so, he's going to make up 16 positions in, I think it's around 29 laps around here. Marcus is at the session again, so I think he's still having some issues with his game. But Josh, I forgot to ask you, who's going to launch the start today?
Who's calling the lights out?
Yeah.
Oh, it's my go.
Oh,
you've got the ending. You called Silverstone. I get this one. You got the ending.
Wait, yeah. Well, Josh, get ready to take it away. You got to save some breath because this is going to be interesting towards turn 1.
I tell you what, 2023 can't start off any better, can it? Because this is going to be something beyond exciting down towards turn number 1.
The thing is, it doesn't feel like I've only been doing commentary for 10 months. I started commentary at PSGL, I think it was the end of March. Yeah. I joined the server something like the 16th of March. And it's not even been a year yet. It feels like 10 years. And I'm going to blame the game for that because I've gained about 50 years with all the issues we have.
Yeah, F1 2021 we thought was a nightmare. F1 2022 is an utter nightmare, but it's been a fantastic season so far.
It's still we still sit here and
Yeah.
we should admit we all
There we
thought
go.
F1 2020 was bad.
So sit back and enjoy the Portuguese Grand Prix, which is about to come under starters' orders. The start of 2023 is about to get underway. Lights out, race on in Portimao. Great start for Flores, but Cameron Downs is going to go level with him down towards turn number 1. It's a drop downhill. Cameron has the inside line. Cameron takes the lead. Flores jumps off the front of Jan Halliday, and immediately Flores is back under control. Can't get back the lead. Brilliant start from Cameron. Jeremy's gone round. I think he's jumped a couple of positions further back. So has Harlem, and up into position goes Philip and Hunt. They're changing positions. Marcus has finally joined the race as well. He's down in 18th. Leroy Brown's jumped down to 19th, but a brilliant start from Cameron Downs. He was level with Flores, and he had the inside line towards turn number 1.
And I'm now watching the two Williams and the Mercedes all inside of each other. Here coming through turn 7, Tom and Sergio basically inside each other, and Tom also ghosted into his teammate. But Tom still takes 7th, Sergio then in 8th. All on the hard tyres. Cameron, though, took the alternate strategy, starting on the mediums along with Theon, Modesto and Marcus, but everyone else taking the hardest compounder tyre.
Castle almost committing Harry together with one of the Mercedes of Sergio Sabrino. Vincent and Finn are too close to call as well. Up towards turn 13 as well. Tom Martinez just now has lost grip to Jeremy. And look at that.
Theon!
Oh no, it's happened again.
Theon spun his teammate around at turn 10. Vincent had a big snap and Theon just collected him. And that's Modesto through. Modesto started 17th. He's 10th. What a start.
Brilliant start. Cameron does it at 1:21.807. He's got the lead and clear by a second to Flores as well. And Modesto Mena is up into 9th position as he clears Daniel Jensen in towards the first corner as well. And now this becomes a slipstream battle. That Mercedes must have some damage. He's dropping too much.
Up the inside.
Marcus passed.
Yep, he's up the inside of Harlem. Harlem's still keeping it in there. Nearly a bit of a Sergio Perez incident when he got, I think it was Emu, spun someone round up at turn 4. But Harlem stays behind, and that is Leonard Gertzer going up the inside of Harlem. Then at turn 5, Harlem has to give a little bit of leeway, and that is Harlem now down to 17th, not the start that he wanted at all in the Alfa Romeo. His teammate down in 12th, so at the moment Alfa Romeo looking to score no points so far, but running in lap 2, and many things can change. But one thing to talk about, Flores, outside that 1 second gap, that's not what he wants. Obviously, yeah, they're on different tyres, but still, he wants to keep himself within that 1 second because that's where it's beneficial. Because I don't think we'll be seeing the Silverstone strategy with about 10 different ones. I think today it's either medium, hard, or hard, medium, unless there's about 1 million safety cars, which is always possible around here. Because we've already had what? We've had Leroy spin, Vincent spin, and Leonard spin already.
Yeah, already. Zoltan Boda is one to watch as well, down in 15th position as things stand as well. He's lining up Marcus Tau for a brilliant overtake. The DRS is enabled as well. He's going to slipstream him though down towards turn number 1. He won't have it this first zone, looks to the inside line, decides against it, just wants to make Marcus fully aware that he can slip through any time. Maybe turn 5 will be a better opportunity. It'll be the first on DRS. And of course, Cameron doesn't have to worry about that. He's 1.6 seconds clear of Flores. Now here comes Zoltan with the DRS. Marcus has got it 2 on Philip Walters. Can he have anything in towards turn 5? Yes! Up the inside, the two Ferraris making battle. And Marcus goes through on the medium compound tyre. Has the better grip than Philip, who started, I believe, looking like he's on the hard tyres.
Yes. That was a really nice coordinated move. I don't know if that was done on purpose between the Ferraris because it was very well done. So if it was, well done. If it wasn't, even better well done. So now Zoltan's got to fight Philip, and Philip will probably be slower than Marcus, being as Philip's on the harder tyres and Marcus on the medium. So it's going to be a bit of a difficult move anyway. For Zoltan to get through on Marcus. But yeah, these medium tyres having a real good advantage over the hards. You can see now Cameron putting it up to 2 seconds. So the question is though, obviously Cameron will pit earlier, but is Flores able to make that time up when he swaps to the mediums? Because it shows the hards are so much slower. Like obviously on some tracks, it's worse than this, and on others it's not. On others it can be nearly equal. So obviously this is a track that favours the mediums over the hards, and we're watching Sergio Sabrino now as he's actually right behind Tom, and we could possibly see a move soon because Tom's he's nearly losing the DRS to his teammate Jeremy, and he's currently in 6th, having a really good race for Williams, 6th and 7th, but we don't want to do the jinx, and they end up being last. But big shame for Leroy Brown. Qualified, I think it was 11th, and he's now down in 19th. I think he either spun at turn 1 himself or he had a collision with someone down at turn 1.
Yeah,
So that's unfortunate. He's now 3 seconds behind the train. Everyone else is in the train apart from Cameron, which means Leroy's got a lot of work to do if he wants to get himself back into that DRS train. Because when it comes to going down the straight, everyone's going to have, is it 14 kilometres extra?
Yeah, 14.
Where Leroy
DRS
is going to be 14 down, so it's going to be like Williams versus Mercedes in real life.
We'll activate the ERS for you as well, now that the systems have stabilised after the first couple of laps. Look at that, though. It's 1.9 seconds. Cameron is going to... And he's done it! Over 2 seconds. For just a nanosecond, it switched as well. And this is an amazing start with the medium compound tyres. This could work out very well for those running on the mediums. They've got the pace as well. Hard tyres, though, definitely playing the long game, but we've seen at tracks like Silverstone as well. Last time out, the hard tyres don't always pay off as well for a long run. So it's going to be interesting. And then again, safety cars at this track are a probability as well. It's very, very narrow racing circuit as well. Designed mainly for testing, not for racing. And Vincent Nyquist has got a 3-second time penalty already for multiple warnings.
Yep, and he's only in 18th, so it's a big shame for Vincent. I can't see him continuing the whole race because getting points, I think it's out of many people's bounds at this point. He's got to gain 3 seconds over the person in 10th, which is his teammate. And I believe they'll probably have a little swear at each other after the race is over because it wasn't intentional, but Vincent will still be annoyed. But the crucial thing is, Cameron Dowd started Britain on pole. He did an amazing lap, got himself into first, and he had a really bad start. This time he was in second, yes. It's not first, but it's still on that front row. You still got that pressure of the people behind, the other 18 behind. But he had a really good start, took the lead into turn 1 over Floris, and now he's comfortably leading. Floris has nearly got out of the DRS to Jan, so Jan's not going to have an advantage over Floris, meaning Cameron and Floris can pull away. Which means Cameron, as long as enough safety car plays his cards right, could be looking for a potential win. But he's got to make sure he makes no mistakes and gets no penalties, because that's where it lies, this track. Especially going towards turn 4, into turn 10, even into turn 1. It's very easy to get those track limit penalties because, you lose the car, there's no way of saving it. You're either round or you have to slam the brakes on completely, which means you'll lock up and go off the track anyway, because it's such an annoying track and you've got to be so precise. In my eyes, I know people probably disagree, it's like Baku and Monaco without walls. Obviously, they're not 90-degree corners, but it's all about that precision. You go off track, you're done for. You go off track in Austria, you'll spin and go into the gravel but not hit the wall. Here, you're more than likely going to hit a wall.
Marcus diving up the inside of Bogdan Moldovan to retake the position, and has done so for P12 as well. And I've pressed P12 when I'm watching Floris Wires, so I don't know what's happened there with the paneling system. There we go. My screen's now watching the same one.
You was looking at P2, I think.
Yeah, I pressed the shift key and everything.
But
it just wouldn't work.
Look at the position change. Modesto Mena 7 positions up. Marcus has made up 7. Modesto's on 9. Marcus has made up 7. Fion's made up 4. They're on the mediums. That shows the mediums are quicker. Vincent's dropped down 8 and Leroy's dropped down 10 because of their incidents. And Leonard also, I think he had an incident down at turn 1 as well because he's dropped 5 positions. But that shows the medium tyres are better. Obviously, Jack Humphries has lost out to Jan, even though they're on the same tyres, which is annoying. But we're going to look at Zoltan as he's getting past Philip down towards turn 1.
Yeah, nicely done, side by side into the braking zone. Red Bull versus Ferrari. Red Bull comes out on top, and the Ferrari might try and challenge back as well if he can get through on the inside line. No, doesn't think about it. Phillips playing the long game. He's got to defend from Leonard as well. He's just behind him. So the battles further back are actually the most exciting out there at the moment.
Watching Leonard.
Jack Humphries, maybe, sometimes.
Leonard sends it, but back the last second. He was having a look and thought, actually, no, that's not going to be a good idea.
And right round the outside, Harlem's going to take Vincent Nyquist as well. Harlem's going to stay through, and he's done it. Up into 17th position with a brilliant move right round the outside of turn 5. You don't see many of them too often.
You really don't. That was a really nice speed from Harlem, round the outside at the hairpin. But crucial, look at 6th and 7th. Tom's nearly a second out from Jeremy for a second. Yeah, well, that's a point. For a second, he was a second behind Jeremy. Yes. But you think the teammates, wouldn't Jeremy slow down and let Tom get back into the train? Because Jeremy's not going to lose anything from losing a 10th. Because he's only 8 tenths, he could still lose a 10th and be within DRS lefted. But the other crucial thing is now, Jan's 1.7 seconds behind Floris, and Cameron's still 2 seconds behind Floris. So which means the top 2, they're pretty sorted at the moment for a top 2 finish as long as nothing bad happens. But Jan, he's got a whole train behind him. Marcus is also at the 1 second gap now. Bogdan going for a move. Oh, Marcus nearly hits him as they come down the main straight into turn 1. Bogdan takes a position. Easy peasy, lemon squeezy. Bogdan up into 12th now, but he's going to lead the train between 12th and 18th.
Marcus. Time penalty of 3 seconds for multiple warnings, so he's gone off the track multiple times. Yeah. Bogdan's now going to have no DRS down this straightaway. So now, I don't know, that seems to me like he was forced to take the position, because we know Bogdan quite well, don't we, after the F4 seasons we've covered with him. He doesn't like getting ahead if he knows he's vulnerable. He likes to play the long game and dive out when he knows he's closer to cars in front of him, so he doesn't lose out on DRS. Yeah. He's lost out now, but he has just got it back, because he's literally 9.5 tenths behind Jensen.
Yeah, I think he knew he was quicker than Marcus, hence why he went through. And we'll start to see possibly around lap 14, 15 when the mediums start to die off. I haven't really done much league racing around here because it's not a track that many people race on. So I don't have much experience and data to go off, but I think it'll be around lap 13, 14 the mediums will start to die. We'll see that because we'll see when Cameron starts losing lots of time to Floris. And he's actually looking like he's starting to lose. He's not gaining time anymore. He's kind of equaling around that 1.92 second gap. Sergio getting past, and also we've got Zoltan and Marcus flies in. Marcus really banging wheels, and they make contact. Marcus hits the back of Zoltan, and is Marcus going to the inside line to turn 3? Yes, he is. Nearly hits back of Zoltan again. Marcus doesn't want to lose these positions, but he is. He made contact down the main straight, then he made contact into turn 1 itself. Marcus is really not holding back today. We've also got Vincent on the back of Harlem into turn 5. Vincent breaks late. Oh, and he spins himself round, hitting the Ferrari of Philip. And that also puts Leroy now up in position into P18. Big shame for Vincent, but he really broke late there. And it's good that it didn't spin around the Ferrari, because that would have also made contact with Harlem. But Harlem down in 17th. He's got to do something, hasn't he?
Well, this is just getting worse and worse as well. This is the big guys making big errors as well. And it's not that affordable this late in the championship. We've only got 5 races left, of course, as we run for the title. 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 as well before we round off in Abu Dhabi. So they're making crucial errors at crucial times. We'll switch on the telemetry for you, hopefully as soon as it starts working, because sometimes it switches itself off. Jan Halliday's done the fastest lap on a 1:19. No, Sergio Sabrino, 1:19.674. Diving into the pit lane, though. Marcus. Was that Marcus? Yeah, so he's got damage. Oh, is this a false retirement, though? Because look, 5 seconds speeding in the pit lane. So is he going to back out? Vincent Nyquist, too.
Vincent retired.
And he's out. Okay, so Vincent's retired from
Marcus
the race.
Has gone on to hards. Oh, Jeremy, what's happened to Jeremy? He's spun up at turn 4.
Oh, he must have just caught the oversteer.
Yeah. But looks of it, no damage. But that's a shame. He's now down to 16th. Not what he wanted. Sergio Sabrino now leads the train. Well, he was leading the train until he managed to get back into that 1 second and left it. But look, Jack Humphries is outside that 1 second now, so everyone's starting to lose time. Is this time?
Sorry, I was watching Zoltan Boda, and he had a massive slide, and that's going to give Leonard the opportunity. He almost goes on the inside line. We've got to switch back for the battle for 12th position. Zoltan Boda on my monitor had a big snap, and now is a big snap for Leonard too. That's going to allow Philip to come through. Hard tyres not working. The cars are uncontrollable.
They are. Really big snaps for both of them. They also have running. Oh, Tom spun.
Oh, and there's another one of the hards gone round. And that's both Williams is having problems. And now he's hemorrhaging down the field.
Josh, what did we say at the start? We don't want to jinx the Williams.
Well, you said it, not me.
And they're the 15th and 16th, so...
They're going to be looking for you after this race as we get down the straight.
Jack Humphries.
Oh, he's going to dive for me on the inside line. Philip Walters has spun as well in the first sector. There's someone else around. Harlem's got a 5-second time penalty for ignoring the yellow flags. And he was back down in 11th position. It's all kicking off.
It is. It's really getting interesting there. But look at Modesto, 7th now. He's gained 2 positions through people spinning. So Modesto's had a really good start. He's gained, 11 positions now, which is what he wants. Also, look at Floris. He's gaining.
1.7, yeah.
He's gained 3 tenths. So is the medium's going to die earlier than I thought?
Yeah.
Because it also seems Modesto's losing time to Sergio, and Fion's starting to lose time to Daniel. But the crucial thing is now for Lefty, he's got himself ahead of Jack. He's just got to break the 1 second to Jack. That's only what he needs to do. Then he can secure himself a 4th position. Obviously, Lefty is above Cameron in the standings, but if Cameron finishes where he does and Lefty finishes where he does, Cameron will actually be ahead of him in the standings by around, I think, 1 or 2 points. But another crucial thing is it will put Cameron only 15 points behind Flores, which it will be a race win away, which means it's still not out of the cards for Cameron to take the championship. And if you remember, Josh, back in season 31 at F4, Cameron was in the championship fight until the last race.
Yeah, someone just dived into the pit lane, Philip Walters in the Ferrari. But yeah, you're right. The last race, he managed to get himself back in the title fight. We had a 3-way fight for the title, and Philip Walters actually retired from the race in the pit lane. So that's one of the Ferraris thinking, okay, that's it. So that's Vincent Nyquist and Philip Walters out of the race.
Yeah, which isn't good at all for the Ferraris, but each to their own. We're going to watch Daniel Yeltsin. Currently, I'd say been one of the fastest drivers overall this tier in the last few races, but he's not been able to convert it into race results. Montreal looking to win it easily. Monaco looking for a good P3. I think he lost a bit of time where he got the podium, not too sure.
With the rain,
Britain, he also did a really, really long strat. He run 22 laps on the hards, then got a puncture, so he was out of the points. Or he may have got 1 or 2 if I'm wrong. And now he's in 9th, which means he'll get 2 points. So, considering how quick he is, it's not, he's not performing how he should, especially in qualifying. But look at Zoltan, he's lost 3 seconds now. So the question is that Zoltan and Flores working together? Lower the gap between Zoltan and Flores, which means he can get Flores out ahead when the pit stops come. Because obviously now, they're not nowhere near a pit stop clear, but eventually they will because the gaps are starting to get bigger.
Jensen's got the DRS, going to move to the inside line for an easy move on Finn McKee down towards turn number 1, and he's taken him. Beautiful move as well. And that is the nice, calm, slipstreaming manoeuvres we come to expect at Portimao.
It is, which is really nice from Yeltsin. And he'll be now charging after Modesto Mina, who's currently in 7th. He's losing time on his hards. Fion's going to start losing time as well on his mediums.
1.3. I'm watching Cameron now, actually. He's having a bit of problems on these tyres.
We'll watch Cameron for a second. Crucially, Jack Humphries is now outside the 1 second to Lefted, which is what Lefted wanted. Lefted's plan has worked. So he's now got practically at the moment a secured 4th, but that can all change in a second. Yeah, you can see now we'll go on board with Flores and we'll just watch him as he's chased up to Cameron. You can see Cameron's losing time, he's losing the back end a bit more. His tyres are like, yeah, no. And I did say 13 laps, so if that's true, then I'm just a genius when it comes to strategy. So if he pits within the next 3 laps, possibly might even pit this lap. Let's see. Is he going to pit?
Is he going to dive in?
No, he stays out. So we'll say another 3 laps. By lap 15, he should go in.
Yeah.
Because the hards are now quicker, which means
they've changed over.
Yeah. Which means when Cameron goes onto the hards, if he can keep this pace, he could get out ahead of Flores by 1 second. That's what he needs crucially.
What he needs actually is those hard tyres. He needs to hit the hard tyres up quickly as well, because Flores is going to be quicker. So Cameron needs to think about end of the race overtakes. But this is the thing. Once Flores gets drivers in his sights, he goes for them. He does. Oh, and Leonard's up into 11th position. He's passed Zoltan Boda. So that little hold-up battle we thought they were playing has changed out dramatically. But this is it. Just start to play the games and see where it takes you.
Yeah. And Sergio Sobrino just behind Jack Humphries. And he wants to get past soon. Jack's lost nearly 2 seconds to Lefted now, so he's starting to become a little bit slower now. I don't know if it's because he doesn't like the hards or if they're not comfortable, if he's got a little bit of damage maybe. But another crucial moment. Look at Lefted. His plan's working even better. He's now within 1 second of Jan, which means a possible P3.
It's got the DRS.
Doing really well for Lefty, but we're going to watch Sergio as he's just 2.5 tenths, 4 tenths now behind Jack Humphries, going into the braking zone of turn 14. And Leonard's got a 3-second time penalty, meaning he probably won't score points. But
that's disappointing.
Cameron's in the pits. I got it right. 13 laps, I said. And he pits after 13 laps. Sergio into the pits.
Okay, so that's a surprise. So that's on the hard compound tyres as well. Does Modesto Mena go through? No, he stays out. Finn McKee's in after 13 laps on the medium. So they've all taken theirs to turn. Flores Wires takes the lead of the Grand Prix as well. As we run down, everyone now will be running on hard compound. No, Sergio Perino back onto the mediums, of course. So this is all changing over. How long until those hard tyres get up to temperature for Cameron Downs as well,
Right.
who has a little bit of a wiggle
But
coming through turn 1.
Look how crucial that is. Cameron's came out 7 seconds ahead of Sergio.
That's big news.
Which, if we have a look at gap to leader,
not that bad, is
23
it,
seconds, that might just be enough, I think. I'm not quite sure, but that might be enough. Cameron might need a lap to get the tyres up to warmth, but he might just have it.
I'm not
Jan probably will be behind Cameron because they're 21 seconds, and then Jack Humphries beyond will be, you know, won't get ahead at all. So this has either really worked or it hasn't worked at all.
Flores is coming round in the last corner. I think he's hugging the inside line a bit too much. I think he's thinking about it. Does he dive in? No, he doesn't. Flores continues on to take through as well. Oh, and Vincent Nyquist has just put... Oh, Modesta Mena pits. Okay, so he's medium tyres. Jensen goes up, and Modesta Mena's been speeding in the pit lane. He gets a further 5 seconds added to his time as well. Didn't quite make the brake boards as well. We saw him locking up on the monitor. But yeah, in the chat quickly as well, Finn McKee has put good luck, guys, before the race started. And Vincent has just put, well done, man. I know you hate me, but you can't take me out. So you did say there's going to be a bit of a internal Haas battling.
Well,
and it looks like there is one.
I'm not going to repeat the exact phrase, but I can believe Vincent's like, we look like a bunch of if you know what that means.
Good to Steiners, yeah.
Yes. It's Haas, so it makes sense.
Yes.
And I can see, looking at Daniel's wheels, he looks like he's got a few little flat spots, so he must have had a few lockups. Jeremy, 3 seconds, he's currently in P10, which isn't good.
So that helps Martinez. So
not really, because
Martinez
he still hasn't pitted. So I thought, I did think for a second, oh, hang on, Martinez is in top 10, but no, he's not because he needs to pit. He'll come out behind Theon. No, yeah, he'll come out behind Theon, meaning he'll be like 16th, nearly last. Marcus pitted ages ago, and he's now 2 seconds behind Theon, so it's worked a little bit more for Marcus. But
I'll tell you what, though, top 3, stay on, and Lefted's going to have a run here. Lefted's got the DRS on Jan Halliday. Is he going to make something? No, because he braked way too early. Down the straight, however, as well, he did look quite close as they came on. And into the pit lane comes Bogdan Moldovan and Jeremy. So they drop down the order as well after 16 laps. So Jeremy gets serviced first in the Williams team.
He does. Lefted, yet again, just 4 tenths behind Jan. Now he's got Jan in his sights. I don't know if he's planning to pass or stay just close behind.
Look at that, though. Sergio Sabrino, 1:19.405. He's done the fast lap. He was on medium tyres as well.
But look at that. He's gained 2 seconds to Cameron. When we look at the gap to leader again, Cameron's 24.6 now behind Flores. So he's lost a second, but it's not like he's lost the world. No, is that spun? That's Jeremy.
Oh, Jeremy coming down the pit lane.
That's turn 1. He looked like he was going to take the Nicholas Latifi route, aka go the wrong way like he did in Japan. He looks like he was taking turn 1 chicane version this time.
Oh no, Marcus is disconnected again. His internet issues continue to go through as well. Jeremy then right at the back of the field. The day just gets worse for Williams. As meantime, we look to Lefted, who's running in P3 now. Will the leaders go in this time? No, they don't. Once again, though, Lefted will have the DRS as well. Look how much slipstream power he has. Yeah. But downhill, he just can't make the move on the McLaren.
Well, it's a fact if you got the slipstream, but then you got the dirty air, which means he needs to brake a little bit earlier, because if he brakes too late, he'll just hit the back of the McLaren. Marcus Turley is back in the session. But yep, Daniel and Leonard in the pits. But yeah, Lefted needs to be careful about what he does, because if he brakes too late, he's just going to hit the back of the McLaren and will spin, especially into that first turn. It's horrible. You can see to this turn here, he has to brake a little bit earlier, but he broke a little bit late this time, because he had the opportunity to. But when it comes down to going to turn 1, you either need to make the move or you need to stick back, because it's not a place you want to be right behind someone and brake late, because then you're just going to go smack into the back of them, because of how much speed you carry through. The tiniest touch is you round, especially when you've got the DRS out, you know, you're already doing carrying more speed into the corner.
Yeah, you've got to be so careful with these cars as well. Jensen's returned to the track on medium compound tyres in 11th position. Leonard's returned on mediums in 15th position as well in the last round of pit stops as well. Cameron Downs back up to 8th position as well. He's 6 seconds back to Leroy Brown, but look at that, the top 8 have yet to stop in this race as well. Of the 17 that are left in this event, and diving towards the pit lane goes Lefted, so he now takes on new tyres. and Jack in 2 for Jack Humphrey. So this will be interesting to see whether Cameron Downs gets past these two as well
and
to move up
Zoltan
into net
and
third.
Harlem.
Oh, here we go.
if
So
you
it's
leave it
really
in-
busy.
Yeah, Floris leaving it really late.
And Harlem's got a 5-second time penalty for speeding in the pit lane. The lefty is having to wait to be released into the pack. It's cost him dearly. There is Cameron Downs blasting down in towards turn number 1. He's got ahead of lefty because he had to be held in the pit lane for cars going past him. It's not worked out for them. The overcut has worked brilliantly for Cameron Downs. He's up into P5 and might just have the net lead of this race.
He could do. This is going to be close. But the thing is, look at this. Floris isn't losing time at all to Cameron. And Cameron's on 14 lap younger tyres. Cameron goes a little bit wide there at turn 5. And he's got a flat spot on that rear right. I can just about see it.
Who's
Which is
out?
not
Marcus
good.
is out. Marcus is out of the race. He's retired in the pit lane. So Marcus means both Ferraris DNF. And what did look like a good run for the constructors in terms of battling their own positions have now literally gone away here.
But the main thing, look at this. Floris pits, but he's got 29% of battery.
Yep.
Cameron, 90%.
So, race leader dives in, as does Jan Halliday. Will Tom Martinez come in and Leroy Brown? They've left it until lap 20 of 33 to put on the medium compact tyres. Will Flores get held up in the pit lane? He is! He's getting held up in the pit lane. It was too long of a list. Now, where is Cameron Downs? He is P5. He's exiting the last corner now. He's full on power down towards turn 1. Where is Flores? Has he left the pit lane yet? He's still in the pit lane control. Cameron comes down and he's going to be right there in towards turn number 1. Does Cameron get ahead of him? I don't think he has. I don't think he has. Flores is just ahead by 0.5 of a second. But his tyres may be medium, but they're not up to temperature. Cameron does have up to temperature tyres. And in turn 4, down towards turn 5. Cameron's got the DRS open. Can he pull to the inside line? Flores goes defensive. Cameron thinks about the move. Then wheel to wheel. Flores goes wide. Cameron takes the comeback. Still can't get ahead. On towards Samson we go. Flores defends the inside line. Cameron's looking left and right. Can't find a way through. Through Samson. Up the hill towards Craig Jones. Dropping down through the crescendo section. Cameron's looking to the outside. Flores' tyres still not up to temperature. They'll take a little lap to get up to that position as well. Into turn 12. One more DRS down the start-finish straight. Can Cameron get ahead? They're going to go side by side and wheel to wheel.
The thing is, though, now, this is crucial for Cameron. He can just stick behind Floris. As long as he keeps him with that 1 second, he can stay behind Floris. He can leech off the DRS. Then on the final few laps, take it. Because by lap 32, the mediums will be dying. The hards, however, seem to be lasting a lot longer. But look at Cameron. He's losing so much time to Floris. Floris has got 38% battery. Cameron's got 65. So look at Cameron. How much he's gaining? He's gaining lots of time down towards turn 1. This is really good for Cameron just to stick behind for the next 10 laps. If he can do that, it's looking good for a possibility of his first win in PSGL. He's been here and he's scored points in every race for the last 17. I think he's scored 6 or 7 podiums, but he's never won. This is looking like a good opportunity, but he's got to keep it himself under low pressure. He can't make himself under really high pressure, because that's when he'll start pushing. That's when he'll start looking up and spinning and taking too much speed into braking zones. But it's getting close on that braking point already. Floris has got these tyres warmed up. He'll then start pushing. He knows he's getting that 1 second gap. He's done so already. So this isn't good for Cameron. But anything can happen now in the next 12 laps. If Floris gets a penalty, chances are Floris isn't going to win. So it's important for Cameron. But main thing, Jan Halliday is 2.8 seconds behind, so he's lost time, whereas Cameron Floris have actually gained time over those. And lefted, critically, he's right behind. But I've got a theory, and the theory is broken. I thought, is Leroy Brown going to hold up Floris, but Leroy pits? Because imagine how good of a strategy that would be.
Done it. Oh, 1:18.628. Flores Wise takes the fastest lap of the race. And this is a situation. We've got Cameron Downs, who's going for his first ever win in PSGL, going up in
Floris!
Oh, he's done it! He's done it! Oh, my goodness me! Flores has got a 3-second time penalty! And the entire of Cameron Downs going to be jumping for joy in the race scene at the moment. That's exactly what you said could happen, Richie. And it happened immediately.
Well, some would call me a genius, some would also call me a pain in the arse.
Oh my goodness me! Wow, Cameron out, going up against a former F1 Esport driver for his first win, and the gap is now 2 seconds. Cameron's got to keep it under 3, and he's won here in Portugal. Flores is going to be kicking himself for that simple mistake, but is it the end of the story? Will he have more penalties? Is Cameron going to get any? We've still got 11 laps left here around the Algarve.
We have, and Josh, is it just me, or are you hoping for a safety car?
Oh yeah, I'm hoping.
I've never said this before, but I actually want a safety car now. And the question is, now I've said that, we won't get one this race, but we'll get 10 in, where we are next? Australia.
Oh, well, yeah, definitely going to get 10 in Australia, aren't we? On the street track. That's probably more likely than here in Algarve.
Look at this on now. Look at Flores, he's pushing. We'll look back at the ERS, 38.24. This is crucial now for Flores. He needs to get himself out of that 3 seconds, but it's also crucial for Cameron because he needs to keep himself in that 3 seconds. The main question is, I'm saying question. The main question is, has Flores got more warnings? Because if he got a triple warning, for example,
yes,
just say he didn't have evidence for it, then he could get another warning, and another warning, another penalty. So it's crucial what Flores does now. He needs to push, but he can't push too much because the more he pushes, the more he goes off track. Well, generally. But another key thing to play, Jan. He's now got himself below 2 seconds to Cameron. So Jan could also be in this to play for. So has Lefty. Lefty's got the DRS. And Sergio, he's also got into the DRS. So Sergio's had a really good stint. He's
yellow. Leroy and Finn were overtaking, and Finn McKee has gone round to be passed by Harlem. He's on a 360 on the hard compound coming into turn 7 and 8.
Yeah, and like I was saying, it's good for Sergio because now he's managed to get himself into that top 5. Jack Humphries is 3 seconds behind, so it's really not gone well for Jack today. I don't know if it's just... He might have had a qualifying setup because his race pace just hasn't been anywhere near that top 5. And possibly even slower to the likes of Bogdan. Bogdan's now in PA, which is really good for him as well.
Just going to catch up on the chat quickly as well, because we've had Shaddy76 says half the grid have spun, hence the gaps, because Dylan asked why was the grid so spread up. Then we've got as well... SHC Joey says Sabrina going for a 2-stop. Sergio Sabrino's done 9 laps on the mediums. Think he must have gone a second one. And Liam Parnell has said the medium have basically no drop-off and can do 20 laps plus. Overtaking is hard in a train. No idea why everyone else pitted so late in this race as Finn McKee comes in, so he must have had damage.
Well, I'll believe that because when it comes from Liam Parnell, he knows what he's doing. You know, he's part of Red Bull. I think he more works on their development side and not actually driving for the esports. So he knows what he's doing. If that's true, then he's made a good point. Also, Theon's pitted onto softs, so I don't think he's got any intention of scoring points today. I think he'll just try and get the fastest lap. But the crucial thing is now, Flores out of that 3 seconds to Cameron, which means Cameron's hope for the race win is going ever so further away. It first started with the fact of Flores getting ahead. Then it got Flores to the 3 second. What more is going to be chucked into the basket?
Oh, just remember, 1 3 second could easily turn into a second 3 second. That's the thing as well.
That's a big
we've
issue.
got Lefted with the DRS on the medium compound tyre. Can he get ahead of Jan Halliday, who undercut him a couple of laps ago? No. So Jan Halliday done 5 lap mediums. Lefted's done 6, which means the overcut worked for Jan Halliday. It's looking good, this race. Certainly want to entertain 2023 starting right. And we're, of course, 5 races left. This is the 5th, so for Australia next up as well, next weekend. And then we round out, of course, early Feb with the running in Abu Dhabi, Yas Marina. Hopefully we'll have a very straightforward title decider there as well, where we don't have to get Krypton fired because he turns into Michael Massey. I don't know. So it's going to be an interesting one.
Well, I did say that Krypton will become the CEO of Twitter.
Villain of the year, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was Connor. He said, no, it wasn't. It was like he put a post out saying, what do you think the worst, there's an announcement soon, what do you think the worst scenario is? And I said, well, Krypton's going to become the CEO of Twitter. Krypton found that quite funny, I think, and he seemed to approve of that comment. So
I was going to say, aren't you banned for the next commentary or something?
Which means the question is, if he becomes the CEO of Twitter, does he drop stewarding? Then he'll become less of a villain.
Or he just turns into Elon Musk and becomes more of a villain.
Or he becomes more of a villain.
It's pick your battles here as they come through. Yeah. We've got lap 26 of 33. The racing so far has died down a little bit. This is the closest battle on the track right now. Lefted trying to go for third position ahead of Jan Halliday. 6/10 to gap at the moment. It's just maintaining this little instance at the moment. But racing is becoming a little bit redundant here because it's all about the ones with penalties maintaining a big enough gap. Because Forest now got 4 seconds to Cameron Downs.
So it definitely won't rain, but it's getting darker.
Yeah.
That means the track will get a little bit more colder.
Oh,
Someone
yellow,
spun.
yellow.
That is
Is
Jeremy.
that Jeremy?
It is. Yeah, he spun
Down
down at
360.
turn 2. Yeah, obviously it's not going to rain, but when it gets cold, darker, the track will get colder. You know, there's no sun playing onto the track, so people on the harder tyres might get a little bit less grip. And Fion's retired from the session without pitting.
Was that on the track?
Yeah.
Oh, that's going to cause a safety car, isn't it? Oh, no.
I don't think so, but I always
You've
thought
got
will it
Oh,
cause
he
a safety
stopped.
car?
Yeah, he stopped. He stopped on the track. Finn McKee's left the session and retired on track without coming into the pit lane. Now, let's hope that's not going to cause a safety car, but the leaders are going towards that part of the track.
No.
Usually that triggers something. We've gone green. Thank goodness for that.
So it must have been a glitch, but still,
Yeah.
I thought you had to retire in the pit lane, but I might be wrong.
You do. That might be a race ban. It's that type of bad effects
Oh,
that
is
you
it?
do. Yeah, you cannot retire on track. You have to retire in the pit lane. Unless it's like a crash or something. You can't just manually retire on the start-finish straight or anything like that, because usually it causes a safety car. Luckily, we've avoided that, but I look forward to seeing what the stewards are going to make of that one going forward. Remember, Jona Martin's got banned for doing donuts in Monaco.
Modesto really wide at turn 4 on the exit. Big twitch, went off track just to correct it. Didn't gain any time, so he lost time, so, you know, we won't really get a penalty for that. And also,
side by side
Bogdan
at the back.
Moldovan going really
go on.
wide there at the exit of turn 5, which isn't good
Yeah,
for him.
I saw that.
But look at this. Jan Halliday, 6.4 tenths behind Cameron, which means is this Cameron's strategy over? You know, it worked out well. He got second. He could possibly finish second, but he could now possibly finish 4th, which is not what he wants. So he's just got to defend from Jan. Jan's got 24% battery, Cameron's got 19, Flores has got 16. So Flores is still under pressure. He wants to make sure he just can keep extending that gap, because he knows even though he's 5 seconds ahead, you know, it's not over.
Yeah.
Jeremy
Oh, Jeremy.
gets a penalty. I thought that was going
Who
to
else
be Cameron
thought?
or Jan then.
Yeah, I did think. Now, Jan's got the DRS in towards turn number 1. He's a bit too far back, but have a second bite at that cherry. Coming out turn 4. And this is just going to... Oh, Sergio Sabrino, 3 seconds added to his race time as well for multiple warnings. So that's him gone. Lefted smells a podium here. The hard tyres were not the right strategy to go on. They were correct to start the race on. Wrong to end the race on. The conditions have changed, and they're not getting as much temperature into them as well. But Kushti, who donated earlier on £1, so thank you very much for that, has just said, cheering for Cameron's dad. We all are. He said earlier on in the chat, let's go, son, and hello, boys, and then said hello to you, Richie, as well, when you were
Who
presenting
said?
this show. Cameron's dad said that. When
Cameron's dad,
when you were
hello.
hosting.
I'm sorry I didn't respond to you. I didn't. I haven't read the chat, but yeah, hello, Cameron's dad. And if you're in the chat
Cameron's
still,
dad.
let us know. Are you nervous because Cameron's in second? He's at trouble from Jan and left, so we could drop down to 4. But we all know Cameron's got it in him. Can he hold it back for P2?
It's going to be fun. Well, we're going to see it in a second. 5 tenths the gap. Now Halliday's going to drop down 7 stories out the last corner. The gouge corner now opens up the DRS. 3 tenths, 2 tenths, 1 tenth. It's closing. Using all of his ERS power. Halliday pulls the inside line. Cameron's going to let him go. Try and get the switch back into turn 2. Not going to work out. Jan's up into P2. And look at that. Not tenths so much.
The question is though, now can Cameron hold it? Get him in towards turn 4. Jan's back. What's the word? Now his lights flashing. That's it. I don't know why I couldn't.
Harvesting energy.
That's it, yeah. And he's now, Cameron's can't gain enough down towards turn 5. Lefted 8 tenths behind. He's now going to try and get past Cameron as soon as he can. I jinxed it already. Cameron's now down to 3rd. He started 2nd. So he only dropped 1 position.
Yeah.
It's not like
Cameron's dad has put a smiley face in the chat. But I tell you what, Richie, I think you need to stop talking about people, because every time you do, they drop down the order.
Well, I talked about Vincent saying he's good, he was in the top 10. Then I talked about, I think it was, I said Marcus has a bit of hope, being able to get himself up. I talked about Flores, he got a penalty. I talked about Cameron, he's now in 3rd. I said Jack Humphries was doing good in 4th, he's now in 6th. Who else have I ruined? Leroy Brent, I said he could have a good weekend. The 2 Williams, so half the grid basically.
Yeah.
But,
do you want to do something for Flores to make it a bit more interesting?
I already did something for Flores, didn't I? His penalty.
Yeah, but try again.
Flores
he's
won't get a
dominating.
penalty. He's dominating.
Winner at Silverstone. Going to win again. I think this will be his 4th race win of the year. I
Third
believe.
or
I'm going to
fourth.
check that.
I'm normally the person with the stats, but today I've lost them all completely. I forgot.
Oh,
which isn't good.
well, I've lost my TV pictures now. That's handy.
Not great at all. Modesto Mena actually right behind Bogdan Moldovan. Moldovan looking to finish 8th. He's scored points in the last 4 rounds, 5 rounds, I think. You missed 1 and 2. He's scored 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. That's 5. Yeah. Ignore me tonight. I don't know what he's up with me. Yeah. Bogdan,
I don't know
5
why I went on
rounds.
the computer.
He scored points.
Yeah.
For the 5th time I've said it. Is it looking good for consistency, which is what we like. Cameron as well. You know, he's scored 2 podiums this season. You know, he's not always been at that top step. You know, it's true. So,
he's been consistent in the points.
Who's that, Modesto? He's out!
Modesto!
Is that a safety car?
Well, it's 30 of 33. Let's see if it will. Harlem's crossing the scene next. Yeah, it's off into the wall with a wheel off. They might be able to clear that. It might be a virtual safety car. They have to throw something out there. The car's staying there, isn't it? Hopefully it can be moved away quickly. And hopefully as well, the safety car lobby is on normally. The car's been removed. We go back to green. Whew.
Well, I thought that was Cameron. But like I was saying, Cameron, you know, he's scored points in every race. He's not always been at that top step. So, you know, the fact he's now looking to possibly take 2nd or 3rd in the championship. Well, he will take 2nd in the championship.
2nd, yeah. Wait.
So that shows, you know, the consistency is what plays a good part. George Russell in the real life F1 showed that. He hasn't always been he won 1 race and he's scored a few podiums, but he still finished 30 points ahead of Lewis Hamilton. And at one point, he was ahead of Carlos Sainz, he was ahead of Perez Leclerc. So he's got it shows consistency is key. Watching Tom Martinez now.
Yeah, go on.
I was going to say Tom Martinez on the back of Zoltan.
Yeah, down in 11th position at the moment as well. Going to battle out for the last points-paying position. That's a close battle with Leroy Brown getting involved in that as well. Jeremy's into the pits. I wonder if that's to retire. Flores will take his 3rd win of the year at the moment, though, because he won in Spain, the opener, and then he won at Silverstone last time out, and then it's going to be his 3rd time victory here in Portugal, which means he really likes this island.
Leonard.
He's taking Spain and Portugal. Leonard's got 3 seconds.
And I'll be honest, maybe I didn't jinx him that much. Tom's still going to score a point. Because Leonard's going to drop down. So, it's not all over. Sergio, Harlem's got a 3-second time penalty.
Oh, this
has been a big shame
worse.
for Harlem. You know, he's been looking on pace. He's not had the biggest scores, but he's been up there. But this race, he just hasn't had it, has he? Same as Jeremy.
No, I wonder if he's going to say about his internet, because we know he's having problems before.
Yeah, could be that.
Yeah.
But hats off to Jeremy. Even though he's at the back, he's still keeping going.
Battle for 3rd is getting interesting. Cameron's a 2nd back now, or 9/10 of a second, to Jan Halliday, so he's closed that down again. But Lefted is closing in. He was 1.6 back, now he's 8/10, so he's got half that down. So Cameron's in a battle with Lefted for the podium positions. Look at that. Look at Jan Halliday. It was just about within 3 seconds. So, yeah, it was 3.9. So Jan's going for the race win here. Look at that, 3.9 again.
Yeah.
So he's going to go for it on the last lap.
I'm going to look at the race director and just see how many warnings Flores has got.
A lot of race director warnings, as you can see as well. Flores looking good as we take a look at that race director. It's coming up then. Last lap, the call. There's Flores on the board as well. In terms of incidents and warnings he's got, Flores got 1 on lap 3, and then he's got a couple
warnings.
more.
No, he's got 3. He's got 4, he's
got
5.
Oh, 1 more and he gets a penalty. My goodness me, has he got any more since he got that penalty? Yes, look at that, 2 more. So 1 more problem and he could have something. So it's not over yet. It's not over yet. Brilliant use of the race control there. This is the last lap of the race. We've just declared that Flores Wires has got 1 more track excursion this last lap. He will get another penalty. So this could still go the way of Jan Halliday. And Cameron Downs is closing right back up on him as well. Leftage got back by 1.1 seconds. So Cameron might just steal something here.
Yeah. But now we can see Flores getting in towards turn 10 now. It's the final point. This is where Flores will either win or lose the race. Into turn 12 and into 13 now. Flores Absolutely amazing race. Started first and will finish first. He was on the back foot going into turn 1 on the first lap, and now it's the final lap, and he's going to come out 4 seconds ahead of Jan Halliday. And then we can see come around the final corner for the 3rd win of the season. Jeremy sets the fastest lap. But Flores will take the win at the Portuguese Grand Prix. Absolutely amazing performance from him. There we go. Puts himself now a lot higher in the championship ahead of Jona Martins. Jan Halliday finishes 2nd, and Cameron Dowd finishes 3rd.
Fabulous from Cameron. Once again in the points, continues that streak, and a fabulous podium. And Jack gets 5th.
Well, it went to plan, because I did say Alpine were on 0 points. They've got to do something this weekend. They've just scored
Leonard.
6.
Yeah, Leonard dropped the 12th. And that puts Tom Martinez into 10th position. So Martinez does get a point in the Williams.
And Yeltsin got points as well. He was in 9th. I said he should be higher. He's in 7th. Bogdan finished in 8th. Big shame though for Leroy, Leonard, Harlem, and Jeremy. All the only 4 guys at the points. But that was an interesting race.
Yeah. Flores Wise wins the Portuguese Grand Prix. He is once, twice, 3 times a winner in season 32 on PCF3. A league of their own is what Connor said earlier on in the chat. Absolutely spot on. The championship leader extends the lead at the front.
I said to Bogdan, I want you to finish in the top 5. You finished 8th, 3 away. That's not too bad, is it?
No, I did.
And I'll put in the general.
Isn't your first innuendo of the year, by the way?
What one?
3-way is the best way. I was like, whoa. Okay.
Well, so.
Dear.
For interviews, please. Please go to the waiting room.
Riley has just said Flores back on top, baby, beginning of his comeback story. If they make a documentary of him one day, I really want our commentary's got to be, he's got to be included on that.
I was watching Rush. I was watching Rush the other week, the 2013 one, and it'd just be us there in the background commentating over, Flores, not Nicky Lauda.
Yeah. Oh, we tell you what, and also because Flores sticks around after the commentaries as well, we have really great chats with him as well. Fantastic driver, fantastic guy.
Flores with the 3-second time penalty managed to keep 1st ahead of Jan Halliday, finishes 2nd, and Cameron in 3rd. And he manages to increase his point scoring finishes to 18. 2 away now from the big 2-0. Will he be able to do that? That'll be a 5th of a century for Cameron Dowd if he can score points in the next 2 rounds. Left did a really nice race as well, finishes 4th, puts Aston Martin now ahead of the championship, I think, just by a few points over McLaren. And then we have Jack Humphries in 5th, followed by Sergio Sobrino and Daniel Elson, both Mercedes in the points. Bogdan Moldovan, Zoltan Boda in the points as well, and Tom Martinez. And then we have at the bottom, we have 5 retirements. We have both the Hasses, both the Ferraris, and an AlphaTauri. But it got interesting, got boring, but it got interesting. But we've got 3 people in the waiting room. We're going to drag them all in.
Absolutely. You've got Cameron in, Flores in, and Jan Halliday in.
Put ourselves onto the interview. And let's grab them all. 1 second. 1, 2, 3. There we go. Right, Josh, you take the first pick.
Well, I've got to take my pick of Flores as well. Flores, 3 race wins this season. Spain, Silverstone, and now here at Portimao. That is 2 back-to-back, 3 in the season. Championship lead is yours. How on earth have you managed to get this competitive streak back as well? This is fantastic.
Yeah, thank you, Joshua, and thank you, Nathan, also for commentating on this race. This race was first of all, qualifying was really good. 0.1 in qualifying. Would have gotten P2 in F2, but yeah, a good qualifying is where it started. And then I saw behind me that Cameron was on the mediums, and I started on the hards. So basically, was trying to stay as close as possible. Did my own strategy. Also got a double warning, so that 3-second time penalty could be washed away, but it's not necessary. But yeah, and then jumping Cameron in the pit stops because my pace was actually really good, and then just cruising home. That's why I kept the gap at like 4 or 5 seconds. But yeah, overall, a really really solid race. I can't complain.
Amazing to get that 4.2 second at the end as well. Me and Richie were just saying there over the podium ceremony, when they come to make a documentary, because Riley said in the chat, Flores back on top, baby, beginning of his comeback story. When they make a documentary about you, we want to be involved in the commentary.
I hope so. I hope so.
Yeah.
That the comeback story is on.
And I want
like
some
it.
credit when you get to challenge us, because I said you can do it. So,
Fingers crossed. Fingers crossed.
but yeah, Flores, thanks for joining us today for an interview. And well, I think you've joined us every week now, apart from Monaco.
Yeah.
So thank you.
Yeah. No worries. It's always a pleasure to talk to you guys. So yeah, have a good one this evening.
You too.
You too. You too.
So
Thank you.
next, we'll speak to Cameron. Pretty good race. You started P2. Did you think you was going to get P2 in qualifying?
No, not really. It was a really good lap, but Floris's lap was great. Like I didn't even do that in practice. The best I got was like a midpoint 2. It was crazy. But yeah, the race was good. But I went for a different strategy. I don't know if it worked out or not. It felt like a really good strategy. I'm not sure what would have happened if I went on hards. Maybe I would have had a bad start or something, and it would have went downhill. But yeah, it was. The gap just stayed at 2 seconds on the mediums. Floris's pace was just so good, and then he jumped in the pits. I'm not sure. I think he just had really good pace, and then I had quite a scruffy few opening laps when I went onto the hards. But yeah, then it was just about trying to keep up with Jan Haladej when he overtook me. I thought I was going to get him back. I thought the medium would have a bigger drop off, but yeah, I'm still really happy with third.
Cameron,
Yeah.
if I can just jump in there, Richie, just talk to us about the start there as well, because on the medium compound tyre, Flores started on the hards. When you got the acceleration, were you expecting to be ahead into turn one? Because you were matching him as soon as the lights went out. So what happened then in terms of your reaction? What did you want to do? Did you want to come across him, or did you just say, I'll stay on the inside line and see what he does?
I was just going to stay on the inside and see what he did, but I got a really good launch, and then I just managed to get past him quite quickly. I was worried we were going to end up side by side into turn one. It was just going to be a massive battle, but luckily I got ahead into turn one.
Your dad might need some paracetamol after that. He was what did he say during it? Nervous face as well. He was talking about in the chat as well, but I think he might need some paracetamol after that.
But it was a good race, and obviously now I think you're either P2 or P3 in the championship, and it shows consistency. I think I said this to you last week. Consistency really pays off.
Yeah.
Obviously, you haven't always been winning and in second, but you've been able to keep yourself into the point. So it's just every week you got yourself a solid amount of points. I think the lowest amount of points you scored is 2. That was in 2 rounds where you shouldn't have actually scored points, but people got penalties, so that's also helped you out. But thanks for joining us, Cameron, and we'll see you next week in Australia. So see you later.
Yep, see you.
So finally, we've got Jan. If you'd like to unmute.
Yes.
Hello.
Hello, Jan.
Hello.
Right, I've got one thing to ask. Is it Haladej or Haladay?
It's a holiday, actually.
Hey, we were doing it right. Holiday, you got it right. Hey, that's one of them.
All right.
Yeah.
Right. But,
fantastic. We got one of them right.
But the race started. Well, you qualified P4, if I'm correct.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Before,
and
I
then
think.
you got through on Jack quite early, which is beneficial. Then you managed to get through on Cameron after the pit stop, so it was then just kind of a cruise home. We noticed on the last couple of laps, obviously, Flores got his penalty. Was you pushing to try and get below that 3 second, or was you just trying to make sure you could get clear of Cameron on the last lap?
I was trying to push a little bit just to make him a little bit scared, I didn't know that he had double warning, so I was thinking that his penalty was legit, but yeah. I tried to push a little bit, but my pace wasn't as good as his. He had like insane pace, both in quali and race, so yeah, GG's to him.
Yeah, really good from you and Flores and Cameron, all on the podium. Obviously, going into the next round will be Australia. You excited for that or not?
I think Australia is one of my best tracks on the calendar, so yeah, I'm really looking forward to that.
Oh, that's good. Australia's one of those tracks. It's either you love it or you hate it. For me, I hate it, but I know lots of people love it, especially when you can get sort of gun pace around there. It's very hard to overtake unless you're going to overtake them towards turn one. So, do you think? Obviously, I don't remember what points you're on, but do you think possibly the hopes of a top 5 in the championship possible?
I'm hoping for top 5. Obviously, I started in F4 for 2 races, so that compromised me a bit in the championship, but I will still fight as much as I can.
Yeah.
And yeah, hopefully more podiums to come in the
Also,
future.
I don't actually know where you're from, Jan, but from today, I'm going to call you Fernando Alonso. You sound exactly like him. Are you Spanish?
Nah, I'm Czech.
Oh, well, you sound like Fernando Alonso. So I don't know if there's any beef between Spain and Czech, but let's hope you both don't get offended from that. But I'd say it's a compliment being told you sound like Fernando Alonso because
Yeah,
um,
you're the first guy that said something like this to me. To be honest.
well, I've said many things about what different people sound like. Half the time I am completely wrong, but I'll class it. It's still in Europe, so it counts. But
Connor,
Yeah.
not this year's Christmas montage. Moving
but Jan, thanks for joining us for an interview, and we hope to see you next week in Australia. So have a good
Yeah.
one.
Thank you very much, guys.
No worries.
Pleasure as always, Jan.
But
Well,
there we are.
What a race.
The end of Portimao. We're going to go back to the intermission screen 1 second. Let me make sure I don't leak any of the F3 chat 1 sec. Because
Well,
last
I've been
time I
saying
did.
it halfway through.
See, I'm surprised we
remember
haven't
that,
been in
yeah.
trouble for that. Because the amount of times I've leaked that chat. Luckily, I don't think Connor's been watching or Jess. But yeah, it was a good race. You know, it died off in the middle. Then it got interesting near towards the end because Flores got his penalty. Then Cameron lost time. Then Cameron gained time. Then Jan got past Cameron. So it was interesting near the end. Towards the back of the grid, you could tell there was definitely still some people not comfortable with the track. You know, Harlem, one of them is a quick drive, one of the quickest on the grid, but he just didn't have the pace today. Jeremy, you know, he's had really good qualifying form and race form in the last couple of rounds. He finished down in last. Leroy Brown, you know, he's one of the best. He was the championship winner for F4 in season 31. And who else was at the points? I can't remember now, but it was someone else. Leonard.
Of course, he dropped off massively.
Yeah, and he won, dominated Monaco, and he's down. So it's a shame to see those 4 drivers out of the points because I believe they would have been able to be in that top 5 if they didn't have the unluckiness they did. So
yeah, this has been another key round of the championship. And do you remember what we said just before the Christmas break going into Silverstone? Anybody who started making mistakes in the last 5 races are going to struggle and are going to lose the title running. This is now the beginning of narrowing down who's the champion this year. And to me, Cameron's on the list, Jan Halliday's on the list, Flores on the list, of course.
Yeah.
And Jona Martin's going to return soon as well. That is going to be, I think, the 4 drivers we're going to see constantly circulating as well. Throwing in some wild cards as well. We're going to be very interesting on Australia as a tricky track as well. They've opened it up a lot more. So this will be our first race on the new layout. Going through turn 9. That's going to be fun. Safety Car City, though, is coming up massively. So this is going to be great. But Cameron's dad just said, cheers for your commentary, guys. Excellent as usual. Well, thank you, Cameron, as well. And everybody watching in.
Yeah,
everyone watching as well has been absolutely fantastic. And
thing is,
first race done.
I expect everyone in the chat to start being nice to us soon because at the end of the year, I've just decided this moment we're going to do a viewer of the season. At the moment, I think I know it's going to, but you know, and also I think it'll be nice for us on the last race to host driver of the season and team of the season because it's all about winning, but you know it's exactly, you know, there's some people that don't get the chance to win the championship, but they have drone perfectly all year. So yeah, we're going to run our little F3 awards ceremony at the end, but unfortunately no prizes because I'm poor. So you know,
and one thing is also as well is that we don't get too much of a break because the F1 season starts, and then we start a week later, I think. Something like, I can't remember when.
No, F1 starts at like the end of January, 17th. I think it's the 17th, if I remember correctly.
I can't remember when we come back in.
I think we begin season 33 early March, late Feb. I think, if I'm correct. I'm not sure.
It's somewhere around there, isn't it? Because we tail in a couple of races later as per usual, but. Either way, it's going to be absolutely fantastic, and I can't wait. And the F2 had another great race tonight as well.
Max Wiesel, 15.9.
Oh,
that is a lap. Actually, Flores was right. His lap would have put him P2, and Cameron's, I think, would have put him P3 in F2. Because Max Wiesel qualified by 2.3 tenths, which was amazing.
they had a dry qualifying, same as us as well. It was a wet race for the
Yeah.
F2. We had luckily an overcast but dry race. So I think we've had definitely, I think, the more entertainment tonight. So certainly those two.
Definitely.
I'm not sure about F4, 5, and 6 yet. I'll take a look at those in a minute, but certainly a great one. And Australia next to 7
It
days, and
is.
4 races left of the season. 4 drivers in the hunt for the title, and Australia is next. Brilliant.
Yeah, I can't wait, to be honest. It's going to be exciting. I was probably more excited for season 32 ending, but this is close behind. But yeah, I want to thank everyone for joining us today. Thanks to all the drivers, thanks to you, Josh, and thanks to everyone in the chat for joining us. And we'll see you next week for round 8 of the PSGL PCF3 Championship. So goodbye.